Good morning to one and all. In the previous class, we discussed about different kinds of surveys are taken in the part of construction of a highway. That means before going to construct a particular amount of particular length of highway, we need to choose a proper location and alignments and different kinds of surveys we need to do for the construction of entire length of the road, because it seems to be a project, a mini and major projects for both of a highway. That means mini project means before the construction we need to set different types of points, lengths and different kinds of markings for construction of a road, and we need to measure how much length it was and how much depth we need to dig for a base work, and how much amount of thickness we are constructing a particular road. All those comes under these surveys. That means some of the material surveys, some of the land surveys, some of the other kinds of surveys. But in case of this highway construction, we are having mainly four types of surveys. In those, first one is the map study, second one is the reconnaissance survey, and third one is the preliminary survey, and fourth one is the final location and a detailed study. In those four studies, we are having main part with preliminary survey and final detailed survey. So first two are the basics, and 3 and 4 are the major parts of these surveys conditions. Already in the previous class we explained this map study and reconnaissance survey. Once again we will revise those and continue for today's class. Okay, first of all, in the map study we are having these provisional alignments and densification. That means provisional alignment. A proper alignment means mainly regarding slope. That means 1 in n and 1 in x. This comes under slope alignment. And identification. That means wherever we are having a huge amount of mud and other fractures, those things we need to identify, and we need to densify the soil by using different types of additives and admixtures to maintain proper kind of slope. Okay, once again we will discuss these map studies and other. In this map study we are having totally 4.3 points. In those three, first of all, by choosing this map study, we need to eliminate few kind of obstructions and obstacles. First of all, those are avoiding valleys, comma, ponds and lakes. This valley means that valley means మనకి ఏదైనా పర్వతాలు అలాంటివి పర్వతాలు లేకపోతే that means huge waterfalls. All those comes under these valleys. And next one, ponds. Whenever our highway or any other project goes through certain kind of villages, in those villages we are having plenty of ponds to store water for their future purpose, like growing crops and other utilities, so that whenever our project goes on villages we need to face these kind of ponds and other lakes. Okay, this is the major obstacles in the first point, like valleys and ponds and lakes. And second one, we need avoiding bend of river. That means mainly our civilization rises besides the rivers. Wherever there is a plenty of water, besides those plenty of water we constructed our buildings and other important industries, like chemical industries or any other industries, to obtain different kinds of products and utilities, so that this water is need in our human life, so that entire civilization starts in the in besides the rivers and other ponds, so that these rivers are having huge amount of importance in our day-to-day life. Whenever our projects goes through these rivers, that means water structures we need to avoid. In the previous case we observed ponds and lakes in some of the few villages. Like that, the rivers, few, we need to divert our project by near side of the rivers, so that we need to avoid these kind of rivers and other obstacles. But in case of third point, if the road has a cross row of hills, that means cross row of hills means nearby the hills, that means a few 10 to 20 meters beside the hilly regions. That means in the rainy seasons, a huge amount of dropping of water through higher point to lower point, so that huge amount of erosion will takes place on particular these hilly areas. So huge amount of mud and other soil strata will disturb the traveling equipment and traveling agencies, so that we need to avoid the construction of road nearby these hills and other hill climbs and hill foothills, so that our traveling will be as much as easy. All those can surveyed in the part of map study. That means whenever we are having a huge amount of maps regarding that particular place, we need to observe these kind of obstructions in the map itself, so that we need not to go to that site and observe all these things. Whenever we go to that site, we will observe some of the points and we will miss few points, so that a lot of clumsy should be occurred in the study, so that we are having these maps, so that all those can be identified in a particular map, so that we need to evolve huge amount of data with less span of time, so that this map study is having huge amount of importance. Next one, Reconnaissance survey. In this, we need to observe some of the important features, like characteristics of the different kinds of buildings and obstructions, so that we need to give some of the importance factors for particular structures. An example, general characteristics of area of field deciding more feasible routes for detailed studies. That means we are aiming for a particular length of route, but we are having huge amount of obstructions. So we have to rechange the entire plan due to this Reconnaissance survey. So that the main part of a Reconnaissance survey will observe these valleys, ponds, lakes and marshy lands. In the previous slide we observed these ponds and lakes, but in case of this Reconnaissance survey, these marshy lands means చిత్తడి భూములు అంటారు తెలుగులో, లేకపోతే wherever there is a huge amount of storage of water on top layers of the soil, that means not in a deep level, only with a height of 1 to 2 meters, that means up to 6 feet or 10 feet, the water will be available on the particular lands. Those fields are called these marshy lands. Those are available whenever there is a huge amount of slope on a particular area. These kind of marshy lands form due to stacking of particular amount of water, particularly in rainy seasons. Those lands are called these marshy lands. We need to observe these marshy lands also for our soil densification and other purposes, and permanent structure and other obstructions. That means permanent structures, wherever there are permanent structures like a huge amount of secretariats and high courts and other important buildings like hospitals and other important structures, we need to give first priority to them. After that, we have to give the priority for our project. And value of gradient length and gradient radius of the curve also we need to decide. These gradients we will discuss in the second chapter. That means slope, whenever there is a arc like construction in the road, we need to provide a proper amount of slope to mitigate these centripetal and centrifugal forces which are acting on particular amount of particular vehicles, so that if mass of the vehicle increases, automatically the centripetal and centrifugal forces also improves. Automatically our vehicle should be drawn away from the center of that particular road due to huge amount of mass and other forces acting on that vehicle due to these physical and some amount of these soil characteristics. So we need to align this proper alignment and radius of curves due to. And next points are the number of type of cross drainage structures along that particular project. That means cross drainage structures. Cross drainage structures means if our project goes through these villages, those villages which are having a huge amount of water for the cultivation purposes, so that the villages mainly having these canals and other water flowing structures, so that our project should not go through on those water flowing structures like these drainages and cross drainage works. Whenever there is a rainy season or they have to harvest lands, automatically these structures will be filled with a huge amount of water, so that the soil strata will disturbance due to this presence of water. And next one, a huge flood level or high flood level. These high flood level we mainly observe in the rainy seasons due to huge amount of water. That means water nothing but in the rains. In a few cases, that means like floods and other storms and తుఫాన్లు అంటారు మనకు మెయిన్గా ఇది. ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ storms and others, we have to face huge amount of rain for particular weeks and days. That means more than 3 days and 3 to 10 days we have to face these rain problems particularly, so that we need to characterize these high flood levels. Whenever there is a high flood level like Assam, Orissa, we are having a huge amount of water due to these rains, so that mainly this Brahmaputra river in Assam and Orissa having huge amount of flood levels in rainy seasons. The total water coming to our Krishna river and other Godavari rivers mainly due to this Brahmaputra river and other aligned branches of that river. Mainly we need to observe those kind of properties also. Next, soil characteristics. Soil characteristics means some of the soils having a huge amount of bearing capacities, some of them are having a less quantity of bearing capacity. We need to find out those using some geological testing operators, and we need to show those different kinds of property like liquid limit and plastic limit and shrinkage limits and other indices for different soils. And the next other geological features. Those geological features we will mainly observe folds, falls and unconformities and other obstructions, other gaps which are formed in the earth level at below and above the ground levels. We need to observe. Those are all comes under reconnaissance survey. Next one, we will observe this preliminary survey. This is the main important survey. In the preliminary survey, we are having 3 major points. The survey which various alternative alignments proposed after the completion of the project by physical information and detailed topography and drainage of the soil. This means alternative alignments. That means we are planned for a particular length of road, so that in the road having different obstructions which are seen in the previous slide, so that the entire study or plan should be changed according to the conditions, so that we need to align different kinds. Those things will observe in the first points. And next, second point, we will compare the different proposals of the particular project. That means previously we are having without obstructions, and with obstructions we are comparing the projects. Without obstructions we are having which amount of length, and with obstructions we are having which amount of length. By constructing those two kinds of roads, we need to do some paperwork. That means we need to estimate how much quantity of materials we have to buy, and how much amount of manpower we need to have, and how much amount of these equipments we have to sold. All those we need to calculate. All those comes under these estimations, and we need to estimate. That means the total cost of the budget should be entirely depends upon these estimations of the different quantities of materials. And next one, estimation of the quantity of earthwork materials and other construction aspect to work out the cost of alternative proposal. That means these are entire estimations can be depends upon the different quantities of the projects and earthworks we have to do. That means if there is different kinds of alignments, that means we need to do first of all these earthworks. We need to stabilize the soil, and the top layer should be we need to modify with different kinds of alternative materials like fly ash, GGPS, stone dust, and other quarry dust. All those things we need to use in the top layers of the soil to densify, and we need to prepare proper embankments and other gradients. For constructing all those kinds of earthworks, we have to do in, that means invest a huge amount of money for that particular points. These are all comes under different kinds of surveys we need to do before going to construction a particular amount of particular project. After that preliminary survey, we are having conventional approach. That means the survey partly carries out these surveys using required field equipment and taking measurements, collecting topographical and other data, and carrying the soil survey. These all points I explained in the previous slides, so that all those comes under this conventional approach. That means we have to do different types of equipments. That means for constructing a small scale of road, that means in our normally in our residential areas we are constructing a road with a cement concrete, so that normally a drum mixer is used for the construction of mixing of the cement concrete material, so that we won't need more huge amount of equipments. But in case of construction of a road on these highways and other important roads, we need to use different kinds of high-rise equipments for proper align, for getting proper alignments and other things, so that all those this comes under conventional approaches of different kinds of materials. And next one, all those comes under these field equipments and approaches. Next one, taking measurements. That means before going to lay a particular road, we need to measure for what length we need to construct, and the thickness what we have to maintain, and quantity of the material we need, and particularly the quality of the material. Quantity and quality both are important in the construction work. If the quality is good and the quantity is less, that means we are having thickness varies. Like that, we need to do both quantity and quality. And the next one, topographical and other data carrying out in the soil survey. That means topographical data all we are collected in reconnaissance survey and topographical survey by using these maps and other field equipments. Next one is the preliminary survey continuation. Next one, plain terrain and different types of terrains we are here we are having here. That means first one, plain terrain. That means no obstructions on the top layer of the soil. That means having 100 to 200 mm length. And the next one is the rolling terrain, 50 meters, and hilly terrains, 30 meters. These are the cross sections of different kinds of profiles in plain terrain and the rolling terrain and hilly terrain. Those distances you need to remember. For plain terrain, what are the minimum and maximum lengths, rolling terrains and hilly terrains. And other studies we need to do are drainage for roads, and hydrological survey on a particular that on a particular area, what is the annual rainfall we are getting. That means if the annual rainfall is very low, that means we don't worry to construct a road. But if the annual rainfall is very high, that means we need to do from some proper embankment and others due to these hydrological properties. And next one, soil survey. This is the main important property we need to do for every project, whether it may be small scale or large scale. We need to do this soil survey for every. And next, traffic and other meteorological surveys. That means traffic. If there is a small scale of city, that means it is a village road or a small road, that means no traffic survey is needed. Minimum average speed and average traffic density we will place those points. But in case of these national highways and metropolitan cities and other important cities, we need to do this kind of traffic studies for estimation. Next one, a modern rapid approach. This is the second kind of approach. By aerial survey, we are taking a required aerial photographs for obtaining the necessary topographic and other maps, including the details of soil and geology. Here we are getting two terms, soil and geology. That means soil means we will discuss this soil and other things in geological engineering. That means geotechnical engineering. And this geology, this geology part means how much amount of folds and how much amount of top layers we are having. All those things we will discussed in another subject, that means engineering geology we are having in third year first semester. We will discuss in third year first semester. And soil properties we will discuss in third year second semester. Those two subjects having different kinds of properties, both are related to soil, but their strategy is different. And the next one, finalize the best alignment from the considerations by comparative analysis of the alternative routes. By studying those two kinds of proposals, like geological survey and soil survey, we need to give the particular route, and we need to consider different points and compare the analysis for both of those and alternative routes. That means first of all we need to do different kinds of surveys. After the different kinds of surveys is over, we need to choose different kinds of plans on that particular amount of length. And after that particular length of plans, we need to estimate the different kinds of estimations. That means how much amount of materials we need for different kinds of approaches. After those approaches, we need to finally select a particular plan by considering all those, by satisfying these all those conditions and criterias. Okay, this comes under this modern rapid approach. And next one, final location and detailed survey. That means final location and detailed survey. After getting these all those values and approaches, we need to set particular final location points, and those points should be told to our higher officials, like other engineers and other chief executive engineers and others. Those finalize these projects. After the finalization is over, we need to locate particular points, the alignment finalized at the design office. After the preliminary survey is to be located by the field by establishing the central line. Okay, this thing you need to memorize, central line. This term you will observe in estimation and costing in your final year, central line. After the total project is over, we need to start the markings of those particular roads and other buildings. That means if the marking is over, the finalization of project is over. After the finalization of the project, first of all we need to mark particular points. That means in what length we are constructing, for this particular length and width, what is the central line for that particular road. By using this central line, we will have to use these different kinds of markings, so that our study is over, we are going to construct a particular amount of road on this particular marked line, along these marked lines. That is the meaning of those marking of lines. Next one, location survey. Once again we will discuss this location survey. Transferring the alignment onto the ground. Location survey means whatever we are get on the till now we are get on the what we are get is the values and observations what we have taken on the particular sites. All those can be kept on the paper itself. But after the finalization of project is over, we need to get those paper work into the field work. That means whatever the values we are getting on the paper, we need to implement all those values into the field. That means by marking and different kinds of arrangements, we need to construct. Next one, this is done by transit theodolites. In the surveying subject and the surveying lab, you are having two kinds of lab. First one, radial survey and compass, normal survey, and that means chain survey and theoretic survey. Two types of surveys you are having. In the first year you are having the chain surveys. In the second semester you are having these compass surveys and theoretic surveys and total station you are having. By using these theodolites, you have to measure these both horizontal angles and vertical angles. By using these horizontal angles and vertical angles, we have to set proper alignment to that particular road. Okay, this is the importance of this theodolite. Theodolite is used to particular alignments of the different kinds of roads. And next third point, Major and minor control points are established on the ground by center pegs. These pegs are the endpoints of particular line. While we are while we are measuring a particular length, what is the starting point, what is the ending point, what is the middle point, we need to keep some amount of some number of pegs on that particular along the length of the line, so that these pegs will help to what is the length we are measuring, what is the starting point, what is the ending point, along the length, how much of length distance is there. We need to choose those by using these pegs and other driven equipments like ranging rods and others. Next one, checking the geometric design requirements. That means what is the design was given by the higher authorities. So those designs we need to mark on particular site. Those things can be marked by using different surveying equipments like this. Above we discussed about theodolites and survey chain surveys and other pegs and ranging rods. All those can be used here. Next one, central line stacks are driven in suitable intervals, so that say 50 interval in the plain rolling terrains and 2 meters in hilly terrains. In the previous we are studied in the plain terrains we are having 100 to 200 rolling terrains, hilly terrains, like that we need to implement here on particular center line what amount of length we need to have. All those can be explained here. And next one, final locational detailed survey continuation points. Detailed survey, temporary benchmarks are fixed at the intervals of the about 250 meters and the all drainage underpass structures. First of all, you need to know this benchmark. What is benchmark? Is it a benchmark having any bench or other? Nothing, that it is a technical term used in the surveying whenever we are measuring a particular line or length. First of all, we need to set a particular point. From that point we are measuring a length. That means the starting point is called as a benchmark for that particular survey. By using this benchmark we will do all the surveys for the particular road, so that starting point is called as the benchmark. By using that benchmark we need to categorize the different intervals like to the previous rolling terrain, plain terrain and hilly terrains, like that. By choosing the what terrain we are having, according to those we need to measure different kinds of alignments. Next one, we need to do these earthwork calculations and drainage details and other workloads from the different levels of by using different levels of books. That means by we are having new strategies for doing this work as simple as possible, so that by observing different kinds of methods and different proposals we need to choose, yeah, which by using which proposal we need to do our best work with a less span of time and low cost of money by the different kinds of studies in the different books. Okay, these earthwork calculations, all those comes under these surveys. Next one, cross sectional levels are to be taken at an interval of 50 to 100 meters in plain terrains, 50 to 75 meters in rolling terrains and 50 meters in built up areas, 20 meters in hilly areas. You need to remember those. All those can be comes in surveying part. Those surveying part is assembled a few points here. That means on with what interval we need to take observations. That means first of all starting point is called benchmark. From the benchmark for every 25 meters we need to mark a particular point. That means a cross or any other symbol we need to mark there. At that particular mark we need to keep a particular small amount of pegs. In the previous slide we are studied here, pegs, center pegs are driven. That means whenever we are fixed a particular amount of benchmark on that particular line, we need to mark, and after the marking is over we need to stand a particular amount of peg on that particular marking, so that our total length will be observed while we are traveling from the benchmark. And next, details of soil survey is to be carried out. That means details of soil survey. If the on the along the length of the road, we need to categorize different kinds of the squares and other rectangular patterns. From that particular pattern, we need to driven few amount of soil, and those soil can be tested in the laboratories. Those plasticity key index is what amount, liquid limit is what amount, and soil bearing capacity is what amount. All those things we need to know. And next one, CBR value. This CBR means California bearing ratio. This CBR value is so much useful for designing many projects. This CBR value can be gives huge amount of information regarding the particular amount of soil. What is the stresses, principal stresses, how much amount of principal stresses the soil having, which amount of load can be borne by the particular amount of soil and particular area. Next one, the data during the detailed survey should be elaborated and complete for the preparing detailed plans, design and estimation of the particular project. Okay, all those data like the surveying data and the geological data, that means geological data means we are taking a particular soil samples and getting the different kinds of values. All those values and these surveying values we need to note down in a different formats. After the all formats are over, we need to regain few amounts of points. First of all, after the all the things is over, we need to regain few amount of points in terms of these drawings and reports. That means the along the length, first square what we are having the CBR values, and the length of the square is which, and width of the square is which. Like that we need to draw different kinds of pattern, and a particular each pattern what is the values, and what is the slopes we are having, and what is the gradients we are having. Is there any soil strata is differ first point to second point. All those things we need to kept here. First one, key map. Key map means we are laying a particular road. That road is connecting which places. That means suppose we are laying a particular road from in the Guntur region. In the Guntur region, from which villages the road is constructing. The nearby villages are what and what. So that we need to mention in the key map. And next one, index map. That means in the index maps we need to show on particular points from that village what is the length of the starting road and what is the length of the ending road. Similarly, different kinds of points we need to locate in the index map. And next one, preliminary survey plans. On those particular surveys, that means the lengths, thicknesses and different kinds of proposals, particular nearby what we are any temples or any other important structures we are having, those surveys we need to take in the preliminary survey plans. Next one, detailed plans and longitudinal sections. That means a total detailed plan about the particular project and what kind of road we are constructing, and nearby structures what we are having. In the longitudinal cross sections, what are the obstructions we are facing, what is the minimum distance between successive obstructions. All those things can be explained in the detailed plan and longitudinal section. After that detailed plan is over, we need to give a detailed cross section. That means whenever we are having a particular obstruction, we need to mark those obstructions in the detailed cross sections, and we need to show in the pictorial representation. That means we are having a small canal or any river as a obstruction. We need to show the obstructional canal or river having a few dimensions like length and width, and what amount of length we are having obstruction in that particular road. For suppose I will give a small example. While we are traveling on that particular road, and the canal having 10 meters of length and 5 meters of width, so that those 10 meters and 5 meters we need to show in a particular pictorial representation. Along the length of the road we are having a canal with these dimensions. so that we need to construct a particular passage over that canal, and on the passage we need to construct this road. This is the detailed cross section about these surveys. And next one, land acquisition plans. This land acquisition, all you are aware, like in Amravati, a huge amount of land acquisition takes place from farmers and other persons. So that first of all, whenever we will go for construction, we need to engage few amount of land for that construction, so that if the land is completely on government, so that we won't have to face any problems. If the land belongs to any other person, other persons, we need to take that land for our project, so that it will be somewhat harder to the constructions. So that we need to take some land from the by using this land acquisition system. And also we need to show how much of land acquired from the others in the drawings. And next one, on drawings of cross drainage and other retaining structures, we need to maintain in a separate files. This is the cross drainage we are having along the road, and we are having side canals, and we are having different types of retaining structures. So retaining structures, that means if the road is going besides the small amount of hills and other few amount of high structures, that means if there is any మడ్ ఆర్ ఎనీ లైక్ మెటీరియల్స్, దట్ మీన్స్ ఒక మట్టి గోడలు లాంటివి కానీ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి మనకి పక్క నుంచి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు, in case of rainy seasons, all those fall on that road, particular road, we need to construct these retaining structures, so that all the retaining structures will act as a wall and protect the road from our future purposes. So we need to maintain these retaining structures and others along the roads. And different kinds of drawings, whenever there is a road intersections, that means these intersections are also called crossings. At that particular crossing, what is the minimum length we need to maintain, and for zebra crossing purpose, and vehicular rotation purpose, and signals purpose, and traffic police, we need to allocate some amount of land. For all those purposes, we need to show those drawings for particularly intersectional purposes. Next one, land plans showing quarries, etc. That means land plans showing quarries. This quarry means not related to dredging and other. Few people are asking different kinds of remunerations and other things, and few people are not follow our project. All those are having different kinds of quarries. Those quarries also we need to mention in the particular project. After completing all of those over, we need to start our project by using these kinds of studies. First one, map study. That means by using different geological maps, we need to start our project. Second one, reconnaissance survey. That means in the field itself, what we are having, different kinds of marshy lands or any other wetlands, we need to choose by using the reconnaissance survey. After the reconnaissance survey is over, we need to go for preliminary survey. That means in the preliminary survey, we need to survey by using different kinds, like what is the length we need to construct, is there any obstructions or any other passages are in the road. All those comes under this preliminary survey. And after that preliminary survey is over, we need to do some localization and finalized alignment. That means we need to give some central lines for that particular project. This comes under this local and final alignment. After the central line is over, we need to go for detailed survey. That means whatever length we are having above the ground level, what is the length of the road we are having, and what is the amount of landfill is there. All those comes under this detailed survey. After the detailed survey is over, we need to go for this meteorological survey. That means material survey means what amount of land is over the ground level, what amount of land is below the ground level, how much amount of earthwork we need to do for that particular project. All those comes under this material survey. And after this survey is over, we need to choose different kinds of materials which are useful for the construction of the road. So suppose it is a cement concrete road, we need to choose this cement and locally available aggregates like sand and other metals for the particular roads. If there is a BT road, we need to make an order for that particular bituminous or properties materials. And after that material survey is over, we need to go for this geometrical and structural design. That means geometrical and structural. In the geometrical design, we will go for different kinds of materials and their properties. By using these materials, what strength we are obtaining at that particular location, so what amounts of thickness we need to maintain, all those comes under this geometrical design. And the structural design, in the structural design part, we will go for if the road is having different kinds of passages with water and other any other super passages. For suppose in the national highway we are having NH 16, there is a super passages like whenever there is a meeting of different kinds of villages with one another, we need to construct a super passage, so that all those comes under these structural designs. And next one, earthwork. Earthwork means this earthwork mainly comes under the super passages. We need to maintain embankment levels. For that particular embankments, what amount of earthwork we need to have. For that particular earthwork, what material we need to fill. After the filling is over on the top layer, what we have to do? Is there any work? And next, after these all works are over, we need to go for pavement construction. That means earthwork is over. That means although earth is solidified, after the solidification of earth, we need to go for this pavement construction. That means for a one single lane road, we need to construct a 3.5 meters and a double lane road of 7 meters. Like that, different kinds of lanes we need to go for different lengths and widths. And next, after the pavement construction is over, we need to go for these constructional controls. These constructional controls means we need to do some constructional values and other things in the book, so that what amount of length we have to construct and what length we have to do, and the thickness is already existed or any other errors are there, we need to modify those errors by using this constructional controls. This is the total project step by step. Now, this is the bibliography. That means for every project we need to refer few amount of books and publication journals, so that we are having a doubt clarifications by using those journals and these books. For completion of our teaching class also, we are having a few amount of books as prescribed by JNTU for the particular subject. You need to refer those books for different topics. All the topics should not be in a single book, so that we need to refer different books for different topics. If okay, this is the bibliography. That means courses in Kannada and Gesto. This book is mostly used for transportation engineering subject. And next one is the IRC code. That means Indian Road Congress codes. Indian Road Congress has prescribed a huge amount of codes for constructional practices and others, so that you need to refer those two books. Today's class is over.